G'day everybody, welcome to Distant Date Night, live to you from Candelo, New South Wales, Australia. and today we're going across, all the way across the oceans to Scotland, and like to welcome Findlay Napier.
Hello.
Are you up?
Welcome to my spare room.
Oh, lovely. Oh, it's very Scottish, you know, because you're Scottish. So,
Blanket.
what is? Oh, is it? Oh, awesome.
Got
Cool.
my tartan blanket and my Gibson SG.
Nice. Are you wearing a kilt? You know, like all the Aussies
No,
want to know.
I'm wearing shorts, which is very unusual because it's absolutely roasting in Glasgow today. But I probably should qualify by saying that absolutely roasting is 14 degrees centigrade.
I was just saying to Finlay before that it's really hot here, and I'm not used to. You know what? Maybe it's not that hot, but I'm so used to living in the house and it's -5 that maybe I'm starting to cook, and maybe it's a matching 14 degrees for all I know. But anyway, I've got my summer outfit on, and I thought, okay, I'm going to start tonight just while everybody rolls in and joins us. I thought I'd start with a little bit of a Australian pop classic by Daryl Braithwaite, just because it's called One Summer, so may as well roll it on. Okay, see you in a second. All right. So I just worked this out seconds ago, just so you but it's a good warmer upper. Okay. Started out last night, I was thinking of days gone by, all the times I've had and the things I left behind. Some change, some die, so we managed to survive. It's knowing when and what to do, it's up to you. Don't know what's going on, can't wait to. Oh, one summer I'll find a way There. Nothing like it, just a summary or a summer Aussie classic to just bring in the songwriter night.
So who is that by?
That's a fella called Daryl Braithwaite. So I didn't really know what the English equivalent is, but Daryl was in a band called Sherbet in the 70s, and so this big band, and then in the I think the 80s, he had solo records, and so that was one of the ones that I grew up with. But I hadn't thought of it for 20 years until today. Just, it's hot.
My brother studied at Berkeley Music College in Boston, and I seem to remember that there was quite a famous Australian rock star in his class, but we'd never heard of the guy at all, like just never heard of him. And he was at Berkeley because he had loads of money and nothing to do, so he decided to go and study music and get really good at music. But I always thought it was quite
awesome.
funny. It's like this huge scene that obviously was going on, and we were completely oblivious to. It was mad.
Ah, cool. We can keep learning, can't we? Someone just wrote a message, and I just want to make sure it says, "Hey Mel, just so you know, the Facebook show is it's working. Not sure the Facebook show is working. It should be working. Anyway,
I had a wee look at it.
Did it look like it was working?
Yeah, there was definitely a strange delay, but I can hear you, but your camera's behind you, but only by a wee bit. It still sounds great.
I see. Ah, okay. It could be just my internet's a bit rubbish at this second, but I live in the bush, you see, and I pay the full amount. I pay the full amount of money, but they seem to have forgotten us or something or other. So
you're at the end of the line. It's like everyone's siphoning off a little bit, so you just get a little drip. We're in the middle of, well, no, it's not really in the middle of nowhere because there's way more nowheres than this, but still, it's 600 k's from a city, so that's far enough. Okay. Well.
If you play a song and tell us a song, and in that time I'll just double check myself. But Dad says it's fine, so he says I'm fine.
A couple of folk have come up and said they made a mistake. They actually. I remember doing one of these gigs like early on in lockdown, and somebody absolutely freaking me out, saying that it wasn't working, and then they were like, "Oh, I haven't got my hub turned on" or something, and they were phone, and I was like, "Oh, thanks a lot." Freaking out, like, it's not working. It's like, oh no, it's totally working great. It was actually me. I didn't have my headphones plugged in or something. You're like, come on, do your own checks,
My beautiful friend Charlie just said, "It's working, I'm an idiot." You're not an idiot, you're beautiful. I love it. And Sarah said that YouTube sounds good this time around, which is a nice thing. Okay, so if you're at home and you're on your Facebook and you want to, be really fancy, and you can screencast YouTube to your, telly. That's like, we're like on the real thing, eh?
Yeah. You don't see my big face.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Well, sing a song. Sing us a song.
I'll sing a song at you. It's called it's for Charlie. Or is it Charlotte? Yeah.
Charlotte.
Charlotte. Yeah. This is called I'm Sorry.
Awesome.
Well, how does it start? I've forgotten how it goes. I've never been wrong. I've never been wrong. So sure am I wouldn't lie. I've never been wrong. I'm sorry that you feel this way. I'm sorry that you chose to burden me with this today. I don't know why you lie like I'm guilty of some crime. It might happen, baby, you could be right next time. I've never been wrong. I've never been wrong. So sure am I wouldn't lie. I've never been wrong. I'm sorry making sense. I'm sorry I didn't think to cause offense, but you're kind of soft and that's what I like about you. Keep up this business and baby we'll be through. I've never been wrong, I've never been wrong, so sure am I wouldn't lie, I've never been wrong. I'm sorry you're not making sense. I'm sorry I didn't think I'd cause offense. I don't know why you cry like I'm guilty of some crime. 'Cause it might happen, baby. You could be right next time. I've never been wrong. I've never been wrong. So sure am I wouldn't lie. I've never been wrong. I'm sorry. I'm done.
Woo!
That was I'm sorry. Or no, it's called I've Never Been Wrong, actually. I got the name wrong. It's quite new. So
But I think, I should tell everybody before we sorted the concert out for tonight, we each kept making funny little mistakes, not mistakes. What we're doing, like, I don't know. You're waking up and I'm just a bit dopey.
yeah.
I
I couldn't remember
I
what
can't
I plugged my microphone into, what that was called. The box thing,
Yeah.
the noising box sent to computer thing.
Yeah. So it was like, actually, that's what it was. It was like my unco words, they were all a bit stuck today. So that's okay. It's a team effort. That's cute. I love it. Charlie said she's blushing. There you go. And someone asked me where I was, and I have actually put Cheryl asked where I was, but I'm actually at home, and I've just put the disco lights up behind me. You see? Can you see them?
Oh yeah.
There you go. Yeah. So it's like having a home disco, lounge room disco, lounge room folk disco.
Good.
So you're in. I'm not that good at interviewing people. It's not really like an interview. It's more like a just that sing songs. But you do some interesting things, and I thought maybe you tell everybody like your different band.
Yeah.
You know, the different things that you do.
All the stuff that I do. Well, mostly it's just me and this guitar singing and talking a load of old pish. But outside of that, I run a songwriting festival called Glasgow Songwriting Festival, which amazingly has had to be online for the last 2 years. And then I run a thing called Bird on the Wire with Boo Hewerdine, which is was night classes and online songwriting retreats for obvious reasons. And now we're kind of opening back up round here. So I'm away on tour, but also last week, what was I doing last week? Oh man, I had 2 really lovely gigs. I was helping a group of young traditional musicians make a record. So myself and a fiddle player called Anna Massey kind of rehearsed them and routined them, and then I took them into the studio with a guy called Angus Lyon and Chris Waite, and we recorded a whole album in 3 days with me as producer. It was really fun. And then I went to jail for 2 days to teach songwriting, which was cool.
Okay, good.
Can I leave you holding the fort? There's a delivery.
I've
got it. I'll be 2 seconds. It's live TV. It's exciting.
It's exciting. What is it? It's like it's one of those box opening things, you know. You get. Did you buy something on eBay? All right, I'll sing a song and I'll we'll come back to Findlay in a second. All right. Okay. All right. So I thought I'd play a song called Maybe I Will. Once again, summer based. It is warm watching the corner. She looks through his dark hair. He'll tell her he wants her. She'll close her eyes. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. The touch of the soft hand, the whisper of strong wind, determined but bright eyes, it's catching in mind. Summer has started. She stretches her long legs between working and sleeping. She might make a try. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. So convince me, I'll listen carefully. You have my attention. Tell me why you want to cherish, you want to say. Go on and tell me, I'll make up my mind. Maybe I will. 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 Maybe I will.
Hey, that was great.
Thank you. That was what did you get? Did you buy anything fancy or that we can look at? No.
Yeah, I could bring out what I've got. It's quite funny actually, because I'm selling the merch on the Eddie Reader tour, which is setting off on Wednesday. But obviously, I'll be meeting the public, but we don't want the band or me, for that matter, to get COVID. So I have bought face shields and like gloves. And
Yes.
and face masks for the audience, because you don't have to wear a face mask in England, I think. But we're kind of like, well, that's cool, but if we get pinged, we'll lose gigs. So we need you to be kind and imagine that we're, and look after us. So I bought all the stuff because I don't want I want them to come and buy CDs and things, because it's good.
Yeah. I've got a friend over there, Andy Washington, and I saw him asking about how things work, and I did mention maybe getting those face shields. So you've got one of those shields, or
I've got 5.
yeah, awesome.
Because inevitably I'll lose one. But I just bought a whole load of stuff because I thought, well, this is the way to go, and then everybody will feel safe, And it's a really nice thing at a gig to talk to folk after the show, but it's not ideal if it means I lose 10 days of work. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like trying to figure out what the balance is, And most people here
Yeah.
have been vaccinated, and I've been vaccinated twice, so I'm not. It's not the end of the world, but it would be extremely frustrating. And also, I would have to self-isolate in a hotel room miles from home. That would be really sad.
Yeah, it'd be awful. Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
no! And like poor old you know, we've all been on. So Findlay and I have been on Global Music Match, and so met a bunch of other musicians, and one of those was a lady called Emma Swift, and she basically just basically was in isolation, like everywhere she went, she'd turn up. And they'd put her in ISO for 2 weeks, and then she'd go to Queensland. They put her in ISO for 2 weeks. She'd come back to America. Like, it was this constant little thing where she kept being in the not quite right spot and had to be in. I think she spent like 3 months in ISO. Like, I mean, we're all in in Australia. We're all in lockdown now, but I just mean more in that sort of travelling sense and the difficulty and so the poor thing has been feeling, you know, very upset by that. So I think she's feeling better now. She's finally out.
Have you considered that maybe she is COVID? And so everywhere she goes, like she's the goddess of COVID, and everywhere she goes, she brings it. It's like in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, that guy, everywhere he goes, it rains, and it hasn't occurred to him yet that he's the god of rain, and that's why everywhere he goes, it's raining. She's actually the goddess of COVID. She had no idea. It was like, it's an unfortunate thing to be the god of, but someone's got to do it, you know.
I mean, you only got to be beautiful and like a happy bringer of music and COVID.
Yeah. Watch Netflix and chill.
I don't know what it's like.
Online.
Yeah. I don't know what it's like there, but when we had our tour cancelled a few weeks ago, a month and a bit ago actually, and it was 2-week tour finally after a year and a half, and there's 3 of us, and we're all mums, and you know, like to get 3 people in the actual same room at the same time in the first place is hardcore enough. But we did our first 2 shows, and then Sydney went into lockdown, so then the state went into this semi lockdown state, and one of the things that came up was you could still play it, and but to 6 people instead of to 200. And the other problem is in Australia, if it's your gig that's the case, they'll put it all over the news, and they'll say this band blah blah blah. They torture the people that, like, if someone anyway, they just torture people who are discovered to have COVID and destroy them.
Oh,
and it's not their fault, obviously, because it's stupid COVID. But they completely on the media destroy people. So it's
funny that because I can see them. I could imagine them starting to do that over here. But the joke being that they wouldn't name and shame a pub, and it's like, let's be honest, okay. Or I like some of the big football matches that happened down here were like super spreader events. It's like big football games, and it was just like, but that's okay. You don't get COVID if you go to a football game. COVID knows not to spread during a football game. Well, it turns out that wasn't true. They just made that up to make money,
Yeah. I know that in Queensland they just had a massive football game as well, and I looked and there was no one had masks on. I'm like, oh man,
that's gonna be bad. I reckon in about 5 days there'll be a few people off work.
Yeah. Oh, it's your turn to sing a song, isn't it? It's your go. Oh, you didn't tell us. Oh, yeah. You didn't tell us what is in your parcel though.
Oh no, just masks and gloves and sanitizer.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, cool.
And all the selling merch stuff. I'll sing you this. It's from my album. Oh, by the way, someone asked what that song you played was called. Is it called Maybe I Will?
It's called Maybe I Will. There he is, Richard. Yeah, that's called Maybe I Will.
All right, cool. Because I really liked it as well. I'm going to go and hunt it out afterwards.
Ah, cool.
I'll sing.
It's
you
from
a song
the Catcher Shaman record. I'll be quiet.
All right, no, it's cool. This is called Hedy Lamarr. It's from my album VIP. And Hedy Lamarr was a famous actress, but she invented the technology that became Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, and just before the start of the Second World War. It's pretty amazing. I make a really naff joke when I'm doing gigs and say, and thanks to Hedy Lamarr, you're able to pay with a contactless card machine at the merch table. Anyway,
yeah, cool.
Anyway, this is Hedy Lamarr. time the light shine down on you, you disappear, head in the mark. If only they'd seen beyond the silver screen. Too beautiful, too beautiful, too beautiful, too beautiful.
Woo!
Thank you.
That's a beautiful guitar too.
Yeah, I got it. It was my touring guitar, right? And I ordered it from Filed Guitars. And we worked in it together. Well, I say we worked in it together. I did absolutely nothing but say, I want this. But it's made out of like woods that that don't harm the planet and stuff. So it's like it's made of walnut, and there's loads and loads of walnut trees. So chopping down a walnut tree to make a guitar is not like chopping down a Brazilian rosewood, you know. And it's really small and it's really light. And it fits in a little case, so it'll go in the overhead locker of an aeroplane or a train. So it's like a road guitar. And
Wow,
I got
gorgeous.
it. I got it the first week of lockdown, right? And it used to have a slotted headstock like your guitar, but it didn't. It never even played a gig. And my daughter and her little pal knocked it off the guitar stand. One day and snapped the neck off it, so it went back down to Roger at File Guitars, and he put a new headstock on, a different headstock. Just you can't even see the join. It's amazing.
Whoa,
somewhere
man.
on that neck there is a join, but I can't find it. You know,
Wow,
it's amazing.
that's amazing.
Yeah, it's my new toy. I'm very proud of it. I had a couple of what did you buy in lockdown? What was your lockdown purchase?
Disco lights.
Yeah. I think you might have won, actually.
It's because what I worked out, because I got two little girls too, and I was like, how do you make yourself feel like you're somewhere else when you're at home? So the idea of a kitchen disco, just a couple of times, maybe more often than that, a few times a week, where you dance on the table and on the counter and put music on, and the three of us dance around and it is pretty awesome, really.
Sounds absolutely brilliant. Wow.
So yeah, but one of them broke because we danced too much. It jumped off the table, but we've still got one left.
Yeah, I had a similar problem.
The other thing you can do, lockdown stuff is camp. Put your tent in your lounge room, and that's a bit of a cracker as well.
Well, we've got a tiny square of garden just out the back there, and that was another thing I bought. I've always wanted a good tent, like a proper mountaineering tent. So all that kind of gear was really cheap. So I got this tent.
Oh yes,
absolutely! I'm so delighted with it. I've used it quite a few times, but mostly in the back garden.
Yes.
It was great. I have actually camped in the wild with it, but yeah, it's pretty funny. Most of its camping life has been spent 3 feet from the back door, between the bins and the back door.
Yeah. Well, my little sister lives in the flat. A horrible. I mean, it's not horrible because she's a beautiful person. She made it look nice, but it's this freezing cold concrete flat, and she had to isolate for 2 weeks with little kids in it, and they put the tent out, and then we rang up and sang camping songs, which was just heaps fun. But it did mean that everybody got overexcited and probably annoyed the neighbours downstairs. But that's okay. You got to do that.
What are you going to do? I mean, that's the thing. It was like because we're in a tenement flat. There's a little girl that lives up the stairs with her mum and dad, not on her own. That'd be weird.
Yeah.
And it was just the fact that like her and Lucy looking each other through the glass of the front door, and not being able to play with each other. And it's like, are we technically one house because we share a front door, or like because we do share a front door, And as lockdown went on, it was a bit like, this is actually psychological torture for little people, So it's just like, go and play outside,
Yeah.
And so we let them play. But man, it was it's such a shame for at least I mean, maybe 2 months they were like going.
Oh my dear!
And they could hear each other running about, It's torture.
Yeah. Oh, okay. What I was gonna sing? I thought, okay, I'm gonna play. I couldn't think of what to follow up your beautiful song with. I had no songs about USBs or and that beautiful melody. But I'm gonna write off the beautiful melody. Okay. There's a song that I wrote quite a few years back with a fella called Carl Brody. Do you know Carl at all? Oh, actually, you've
I don't.
Do you know Carl? So KB Brody or Carl Brody, he's Scottish and he came out to Australia, and obviously we adopted him so much that we made him Aussie, but he passed away a few years ago, but he's a cracker songwriter, and I wrote this one with him, and I haven't played it in so long, but I thought about it tonight since we're in Scotland. I'm gonna have to do that thing where I scroll on the phone again, but it's okay.
I got really bad doing these online things where I've got a screen just up above this screen, and I would put all my lyrics up on that, so I didn't have to learn anything. And then I had a real gig, and there wasn't a screen. And I was like, I don't know any of these songs, like any of them. Like it's horrendous. I need a screen just above the audience with all the words, so I can go like.
You need to be one of those people that's got the music, like the microphone stand, but then they've got like the iPad holder. You need. Yeah.
But
no,
better
don't
than that
do
would
that.
just be
but
a
anyway.
giant screen above the audience, like a huge screen. Make you just go.
Oh yeah. Oh no. See, I can fake it here. I can just pretend I'm being very moody and just
staring into the mic, but actually into the camera. But actually, you're like, what's that line? Is it?
Intensity. All right, I'll have a go. Yeah. Okay. I've got to put myself over here. Okay.
I'm driftwood and I bet nobody knows just how long I've been gone. I can't see the shore no more, and I long to come back home. I'm sailing under endless summer moons, 100 miles from land. My feet are warm, the wind has gone, got a letter I can't send. I'm lonely and I bet nobody knows just how long I've been here. I was the one who wandered on, got no right to show my tears. I don't deserve it, I know, but I wanna hold you. One more precious time. One more precious time.
Oh, that was lovely. That was great.
It's a little thing, but it's pretty, eh? I like it. Um, anyway.
I can follow that. That's really cool. I did the first Glasgow Songwriting Festival, not the first one, the one I did last year, actually the 2020 one. It was all supposed to be a face-to-face event, and I moved it online. And one of the things that I set my class, one of the tasks I set my class was to write a song, a 1 minute long song, with book titles, using book titles. And I found this wee. I basically, by the time I got to class 4, right, because there's 4 classes and they move around the tutors, I sort of completed my bookshelf. And I completed that bookshelf as well. So I'd done all, and I was like, oh, what am I going to do? So I ran through to my daughter's room and I found this wee book. And I wrote this little things. And it was just so funny because it just went plump out in a wonder. You know that thing where they say if you write one song, and then you should just try and write another one straight away, because usually the other one just comes like, phew. Well, it was one of those situations. Okay. So I'd written a pile of these 1 minute songs, and one of them was absolute garbage. And then a couple of them were good, and then this one I was like, man, this is lovely. And I played it to my mate Angus, and it's going to be on it is on my new record. And we just kind of took the 1 minute song and we just put in a wee break and sang the chorus again, and it's a 2.5 minute song. So
yeah, lovely. Okay,
it came out really nice though. This is me making it longer by playing a big intro. Under the moon and over the sea, one day you'll bring my love home to me. Over the sea and under the moon, bring them home quickly, safely and soon. Thank you.
That's pretty, isn't it?
It's amazing what you can do with so little.
Yeah. Oh, I know what I'm going to do now. Okay. I know what I'm going to do.
Go.
But no. I actually have to detune my guitar down, so I'll keep asking you things. Oh, geez, that's pretty. I'm a sucker for a moon, a bit of moon, you know. I went before the concert tonight. I went outside and it's a rather pretty, you know, starry sky, and there's this little tiny fingernail, tiny whisper of a moon out tonight. So, anyway.
I reckon I was worried for a wee bit that it was too close to. Have you heard? There's like that amazing Coen Brothers film called Hail Caesar, and there's this song called Lazy Old Moon. And one of the characters sings it, and it's just this absolutely beautiful moment in the film where you suddenly realise that this guy that you think is just a cowboy is actually like an absolute genius, because he can sort of sing and play songs on the guitar and act and ride horses and do lasso, like rope tricks and all this. And then it's like, I know, it's just this amazing moment where he sings this song and it's just like, whoa, he's incredible. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch that. Oh, hang on, I've got to let the cat out. Okay, you tell a story. I'll be back in a second. Okay, I'm gonna put you on just for 1 second while I get the cat. Hang on.
Or maybe I could use this as an opportunity to promote my new record. While she lets the cat out. I'm actually waiting for my dog to come charging through the door as well. Is the cat out?
Oh, I've lost you. Okay, found you.
I'm still here, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, so, I've clicked Sarah's comment and now I don't know how to unclick it. Sarah, we're stuck.
You should just leave it because she's just like still clapping. Oh, these guys are great.
Oh no, I don't know how to. Okay, so maybe it's that one. No.
I think we'll end just a second.
Here we go. Sunny said beautiful, so then I can fix it. Oh, there we go. Good, lovely. What you said about song. What simple, tiny little songs, and I wrote this song. I'm gonna say what the theme was afterwards because otherwise I'll kind of wreck it, I think. But it is really tiny and simple. That's not right, is it? There it is. All right. So, I'll tell you what the theme was afterwards. Okay. See you in a second. Okay. Broken hearted if you could treat someone who loves you like you do. Your long, lonely sighs are faulty if you can't recognize a lover that's true blue. Way down with nothing but love. Way down with nothing. You can't really be broken hearted if you could treat someone who loves you like you do. Your long, lonely sighs are faulty if you can't recognize a lover that's true blue. Way down with nothing but love. Way down with nothing. You can't really be broken hearted if you could treat someone who loves you like you do.
That was really cool.
Ah, thank you. That's a, it was a. We have to write a song with 2 lines in it. Song, but it was. I didn't even think. I sort of made it as a joke because often I'd give the themes to our Candelo songwriting club, but yeah, just one of those lucky little. I felt so good, sitting in the corner, and I had a bit of a breakup, and that line came through, and I'm like, whoa, that's cool. Wow. Anyway,
it's that melody when you follow yourself on the guitar. It's just it's such a cool thing, and I don't hear people doing that hardly ever, and it sounds so cool. Just like you and the guitar as well. It sounds amazing. Have you recorded that?
Thank you. Well, did I record? I did it. No, I don't know if I've recorded it. I can't remember. I think I have recorded it, but just like that, in it. But as I was playing along just then, I was thinking, would it work with like? I never put beats to anything, but I could actually, just for fun, just put something under it. But
well, I think just like you in a grain silo and just the acoustic guitar and one
just
microphone.
That.
Amazing. It sounded amazing.
Yeah.
In fact, or the opposite, like one of those where there's like no reverb and it's so crisp and dry you can't. It's like you're right in it. I think it would sound amazing.
I'm really fond of the dry. Like I love from the fella from Smog. I love that forward in whisper in the ear kind of
it's cool.
chording. It's my. I always go in for the dry, but that's I'll do it again. I reckon I'll record it.
Yeah, it's really really cool. Wow, what a song, amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do now. I'm a bit taken aback. I totally love that.
So it's lunchtime there, is it? It's like you're in.
It's going to be
lunchtime.
Well, it's just coming up for midday, and I've got a gig this evening that was supposed to do last year, and my wife has been away on tour. She plays fiddle in a band called Rant, so she's been ranting somewhere up the road in Skye actually. So she was on the ferry first thing this morning. So she's coming down from Skye, which will take about 5 or 6 hours or something, and then we will swap. I will jump in the car and drive 2 hours south. So we'll have covered poor car will have covered the whole of Scotland by the time by the end of the day.
Lovely day.
But it's a nice day. We've got a dog who is 2, called Florrie, and Florrie hasn't been walked yet. But Florrie also has a phantom pregnancy at the moment, and she's quite sad because she can't find her babies. But it's because she doesn't have any, because she's having a phantom pregnancy, so she's really down in the dumps. And she's got like a little pink piece of rope that's kind of like her puppy, and she carries it around the house and puts it places, and then she goes, I've lost my puppy, and then she finds her little pink rope. It's a shame.
Goodness gracious.
So she's sort of like a Labrador as well, so she's like actually surprised. Usually she would, when you mentioned your cat, usually she comes and sits behind me and sort of peers over my shoulder like, what are you talking about? I guess I could do another. What should I do? I'll tell you what. I'll do one of my Glasgow album called "Young Goths in the Necropolis." It's a love song, I guess.
I love the title. We could.
Yeah, it's because I was in the Necropolis, which is this graveyard in the East End of Glasgow, and I was running up the hill in the graveyard, and these 2 goths they weren't really goths. They were like. Well, I suppose they were goths, so they came down the hill and they were like holding hands, and I thought they were going to start shouting abuse at me and saying, look at you in your skin-tight lycra running up the hill. But they were totally like, yeah, come on, man, you can do it. They were like really encouraging, and it's quite rare, like when people shout at you, it tends to be like taking the mickey, but they weren't. They were like genuinely, come on, man, you can do it. They must have seen I was trying to get to the top of the hill, and then I thought I'll write a song about them. Which I did, but again, it's not just a song about them. It's a song about Glasgow as well, and all the different bits of the city. So there's all sorts of. I'm trying to think. Easter eggs is probably the best way of seeing it, of little bits and pieces of Glasgow. Like underneath at the foot of the necropolis is a hill, and sorry, it was a burn, and St Mungo, who started Glasgow, used to catch fish, and there's the Glasgow sign is a tree and a bird and a fish and a bell. The bird that never sang, and the tree that never grew, and the bell that never rang, and the fish that didn't swim. I can't remember what the rhyme is, but there's some rhyme involved. Anyway, I've used that, and there's all kinds of other bits and bobs in there. Funnily enough, at the foot, that burn is now the burn that makes Tennant's Lager. So there you go.
Okay.
More information than you'd ever want. Up here in the graveyard, where all the weirdos go, I saw you making footprints in the freshly sprinkled snow. You trampled out a pentagram, arms wrapped about your chest. From the spires to the islands, we looked out to the west. Up there in the graveyard, the city of the dead, you were Lady Mayor and I did everything you said. You summoned all the demons, none of them appeared. Snow melted in the afternoon, the magic disappeared. A genius of memory, we walked among the stones. I felt your fingers touching mine, and I felt safe. When he wasn't talking with the birds or ringing on his bell, St Mungo fished for salmon at the bottom of this hill. Here in the necropolis, John Knox disapproves of all your pacing and your shouting, and your God with horns and hooves. On the bridge of sighs for you to check your phone. Your mother came to pick you up, then she drove you home. I walked up through the graveyard, looked back out to the west, and I listened to the hoodie crows and wondered what comes next. Of memory, we walked among the stones. I felt your fingers touching mine, and I felt safe and free. A genius of memory, we walked among the stones. I felt your fingers touching mine, and I felt safe and Thank you.
Oh, it's beautiful. Sunny hopped in there and said, "Love the info and banter." So,
Thank you,
I thought
Sunny.
that it's the bells that never ring and things like that. Has anyone thought of changing it to the bell that always rings, or the fish that always swims? No.
I can't.
Positive
it's really
positive
bad.
thinkers or something.
I've forgotten the story, but I'm sure there's something about you know that story about catching a fish and finding a ring in it. I'm sure there's
Yes,
something.
yeah.
I'm sure it's like this sort of St Mungo, Glasgow. I'm going to call it a myth, and probably get shouted at. But I'm sure that story is tied into it somewhere as well. But I just can't quite remember. But if you look at the Glasgow crest, there's a tree, and a bird, and a fish, and a bell. There's a Michael Mara song that finishes like that. With the tree and the fish and the bird and the bell, let Glasgow flourish. You know? Oh, there, look, someone's put it up. Liz, thank you, Liz. Yeah. But, do you know, Liz, it's quite embarrassing because I should know that like off the top of my head, and I researched it when I wrote the song, but now I can't remember it. I just love the idea of these two people making a pentagram in the snow at the top of a hill, and that was what the song was about.
Yeah, it's so beautiful, and it's such a gorgeous idea, isn't it? That anyway, I'm a big old soft romantic, so I like that.
Oh well, yeah, me too. So
I was trying to think. I was going to play sort of like a reggae disco number, but I kind of was going off your story of seeing going off the story of those, the goths coming down the hill, or the goths are not goths, and it made me think of when I was in Prague. I did this tour like in Europe, and I kept doing really stupid gigs, but like really far away from each other.
Oh yeah.
And which is normal in Australia, but the traffic is worse in Germany. And I had this thing that happened where I was in Germany and I was trying to drive to this gig, and I didn't have enough money to put credit on a what do you call it, on like a phone to get the directions. So I'd have to stop places and use the Wi-Fi and then get the map going and then get my way across. So anyway, I made my way across to Prague and didn't get lost, and found a flat, and it was so big just to get there, and then turn up at this gig, and it was the worst gig.
Oh no!
It's maybe it could be the worst gig ever, possibly that I've done. Yeah, probably. Anyway, it's so the gig is sort of so irrelevant, but I left feeling really not very good, and the bar lady luckily could tell, so she gave me a few shots before I departed. But I walked
before you got in your car and drove off.
Well, I did have a car then. Then I sort of, you have a vision that's going to go really well, and then just sometimes it doesn't. And
I know, yeah.
I'd caught the tram down. Like I'd parked the car and I'd stayed in this flat, and I caught the tram down. It was so exotic and beautiful to be in Prague, and then this gig was like, wow, why did you do that? But when I came outside, there's the stop for the tram to go back up the hill again, and there were these what I probably would say would be goth like young people just standing there as well, and I just went, I really like your ripped jeans, and they all giggled. I think there was 3 of them. They all giggled, and we started having a conversation, and they said, how are you? I said, I just, I had a really bad gig, and we all hopped on the tram, and they said, and I kind of told them why, and then they said, oh, okay, sing us a song, and I'm like, all right, and I'm on the tram, and so I just sang Edith Piaf, I sang an Edith Piaf song, and it was so, and you finish singing, it was just like all of the inside and your heart and your heartbreak and everything coming out of your body, and then I finished, they all clapped, and I got out of the tram and walked up, and I had CDs, that I didn't sell, so I just gave everybody a CD and then got off the tram and went home. And I thought, isn't that funny? It was the worst gig and one of the best gigs straight after each other. Yeah. At the same time, right?
Oh man, I feel for you though. I've had that happen a couple of times. It's like you have driven to the end of the earth, and then it's just like, this is nobody. Yeah, and it's like, what are you even doing here?
But like, I can't even describe how, like this is about energy, and energy was like the worst. And anyway, I was thinking it's a song on a night, but I felt like playing La Vie en Rose. Is that all right with you?
Oh, do it. Oh yeah, I love you. Brilliant.
Yeah,
Go for it.
Because it just goes with the story, like that's so I played La Vie en Rose in the tram, and I figure, well, let's just go with that. Goths in ripped jeans, listening to buskers on trams vibe. Okay. Okay, fix the hair up. It's been
Des yeux qui font baiser le mien, un rire qui se baisse sa bouche. Voilà les portraits sans retouche de l'homme auquel j'appartiens. Quand il me prend dans ses bras, il me parle tout bas, je vois la vie en rose. Il me dit de mots d'amour, des mots de tous les jours, et ça me fait quelque chose. Il est entré dans mon cœur, tout n'a pas bonheur, dont je connais la cause. C'est lui pour moi pour lui, dans la vie. Il me l'a dit, le jurait par ma vie. Que je le soir, alors je sens à moi mon cœur qui bat. Des nuits d'amour plus finir, un bonheur qui prend sa place, des ennuis, des chagrins s'effacent, heureux, heureux à mûrir. Quand il me prend dans ses bras, il me parle tout bas, je vois la vie en rose. Il m'a dit de mots d'amour, des mots de tous les jours, et ça me fait quelque chose. Il est entre mon cœur, ne pas bonheur, dont je connais la cause. C'est toi pour moi pour toi, dans la vie. Il me l'a dit, l'a juré, par ma vie. Que je le sois, alors je sais pas moi, mon cœur qui bat. La 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 la.
Hey, oh, that was brilliant.
Yeah, thank you.
That's
It's funny
really
because you know we can see it. You know, when we're singing, we can see ourselves on the screen, and you know, sometimes when you're trying to really concentrate and you see yourself, no, have to look away.
Oh man,
But
I had an absolute peach on this thing, using this same thing that you're using. Me and Megan Henwood did a gig. It's still on YouTube actually. If you want to see me making a total fool of myself, Meg was singing, and I just switched the camera, so it was like you've been doing. So it was full on Meg, and I started dancing around in the background, but it wasn't Meg I'd put on the screen, it was me. So I'm like this.
yeah, that would be
Thinking I'm hilarious.
awesome.
And then up in the background it's like, Findlay, you're on the screen. Findlay, you're on the screen. And I've also done like you were singing La Vie en Rose there, and I started going
Yeah.
like this, and it's like leaving yourself unmuted when you do that, and it's just like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
oh god, it's so embarrassing. Yeah.
It's still fun though. I want to do a song now, like where we can do dancing.
Yeah, I know. And then put yourself on the screen.
Yeah.
Instead of me. That was like, it was a very embarrassing one. Oh, that was brilliant. Have you been? I don't know if have you been watching this show called Call My Agent?
No.
Oh, we've been going absolutely mad about it in this house. It's a French show about an agency, and every week they have a different famous French film star in it. It's it's absolutely brilliant. Sometimes they have, I think Sigourney Weaver's in one episode. It's pretty cool.
Oh, mad.
But I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. Like, but really, really, really funny. And but we've gone a bit French mad in our house.
Oh, yes. Or that's. I have to admit, I'm actually going completely bonkers because I really, really want to go back over there, and Australians at the moment aren't really allowed to leave. So
I've heard, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's kind of like I can't even grasp the concept that I'd get to go, and then I realise how much it is part of my insides that I need to hear different accents and voices and encounter strange people in bars, and just like I need it so much. So this afternoon when I saw my friend in Hamburg playing a gig, I'm like, it is possible. It's possible. It'll happen at some point.
Yeah. I know it's kind of funny, isn't it? It's like, I think one of the things that was so wonderful about watching that show was like seeing bits of Paris and going, oh man, I've been there, but also like because it's subtitles and I don't speak French, so I have to read the subtitles. I can't be on my phone, so I'm totally in it, like totally there, and seeing all the things and listening to the voices, and even just simple things like hearing French pop songs and not. And not pop songs in English, and just stuff like that. It's amazing. Like there's one point in the Sigourney Weaver episode where one of the characters speaks English, and it's like whoa. It's like I've never heard her speak English for like I've been watching her for hours and hours, and then she spoke in English, and it's like that's not her voice. That's not right. It's really weird. Yeah. I could do this. Actually, if I have an idea for a song. Is this the last one, or are we going to do one more?
Well, it's technically the last one, but everybody might start like clapping and everything like that, and so then you might play one more. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have an idea for. Just have an idea. To which I'll do in a second. To to continue our young goths theme, which I think we'll be into. But I'll do this instead.
Cool.
This is called American Promise, American Lies. And the idea behind it... Oh, actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to play this new one, right? I'm going to put the words up on the screen. I'm going to tell you that straight away. I'm just going to be honest and say that I think I know it, but I have to play it at this gig tonight. So I just want to... I've got it up there just in case, as an emergency. But I don't think I need it. I wrote this song, and it was a chorus, and I loved the chorus. But I couldn't get it going, and I wrote some verses and it couldn't get it going, and then my friend Boo Hewardine, I got him to be the song doctor. He's really good at fixing broken songs, and I played it to him, and it was like, oh man, it was so great, because it literally took 15 minutes to fix it. It was so fast, and it went from the songwriting bin to like it'll probably be the single on the album that's coming out. And it's just so funny. And even when we recorded it in the studio, we weren't sure if it was even going to make the album. It was the last thing we recorded, and I think we only did like 2 takes of it or something ridiculous, because we weren't sure if we wanted it or not. And now it's like our favourite thing. Anyway, it's called Just a Little Piece of My Heart, and it's from This American Life episode about a guy who well, basically, it was the Commonwealth Games in Toronto, and they found this tunnel in the park, in a park in Toronto, and they thought it was a terrorist attack. But actually, it was just a guy whose sister and mum were giving him such a hard time about getting a girlfriend that over a period of years he dug himself a tunnel in this ravine in the park and set himself up a little hideout. with a little stove and a case of beer and all that, and little generator and little string of lights, just so he could go and just chill out and just have a bit of peace and quiet on his own.
Oh,
it's just so brilliant. It was so brilliant because everyone's like, "What's going on? I think it's some kind of terrorist thing," and then it's like, no, it's just the guy who just wants a wee bit of peace and quiet. It's so lovely. Anyway, this is Peace to My Heart.
Just a little piece of my
sister, get off my case. I'm looking for my own space, and I'm able to help myself on terms not set by somebody else. Just a little piece of my heart, just a little piece of my soul, just a little piece of my mind, just a little place I can go, just a little piece of my heart, just a little piece of my heart, just a little piece of my heart, just a little piece of my heart.
Woo!
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a cracker.
Thank you.
That's a keeper.
I know, I nearly went in the bin.
That's when I was listening to it and I suddenly realised, and then when you did that, when it went up, when it lifted up, I was like, oh yeah, like that's cool. And yeah, no, that's a crack. So when's your album out? When are you gonna?
1st of October. So I've got on all my sort of Linktree related things. I don't know. I can put it in the Linktree in the private chat. In the private chat, I'll put the link. Maybe you could stick it up. But there's a pre-order and there's one of those other things. What's it called? A pre-save
thing. Yeah.
Because weirdly, I didn't know this, but if everybody pre-saves it and then has a wee listen on the day it comes out, maybe listens to it once or twice, or maybe even turns the volume down and listens to it 30 times, it will actually chart. Which blew my tiny mind, especially if they do it on Apple Music. So that's quite cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So now, like,
And also,
every time my friends release a record, I'm going to make sure that I've got it pre-saved. I didn't realise the sort of the knock-on effect of doing it. So
yeah, and also, like, I don't know if people want to go and, you know how we get people to pre-save, they can do the save, or if they go to their older music and click on iTunes, they like, even just like getting your $1 song and stuff like that, just that makes it chart still too. So
really?
Anyway, everybody who wants to know how to help an indie muso, buying a song on iTunes or pre-saving it is just really helpful, because then it just gives us something else to talk about and to give it a little oomph, you see.
That's right. And it is funny because it's like I've actually been asked in the past, have you had any chart placements? And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
but not at all. But it's totally mad. And yet I know people, like we both know people that couldn't sell a ticket for a gig anywhere on the planet, and yet have charted. It's such a strange business these days.
Yeah. The funny little useful things, but that's one of them. In fact, I think also if people buy, have you got it on Bandcamp as well?
It is not. I don't think it's on Band, or maybe it is on Bandcamp. I'm not sure. I've got a record company now instead of me doing it all myself from this room.
Oh really? Mad.
Yeah,
okay,
it's amazing. It's really exciting. So, but they've sorted out a pre-order thing, which is really good.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, cool.
And I think they've done all this.
I'll change the link that I put up on top. I'll change it to your Linktree one as well. So,
that was one of the best things about Global Music Match, that Linktree thing. It's just like a total revelation. So handy.
Yeah. My dad checked all of my links before we went on air tonight.
No, that's good.
It's really nice, but he said one of them didn't work, and I think that maybe one of them was playing up a bit. The Facebook one, for some reason, was playing up. It worked for me, but didn't work for him, and someone had said that the other night. So maybe, I don't know why. It definitely works for me. But anyway, if anyone's stuck, well, you're here. You're on Facebook, so you must be all right.
Yeah, it must have worked. Yeah.
Well, going with Heart, I guess. Is it okay? Another two? Or you okay? I'll wait.
I've got time for one more. Yeah, if you're all right with that.
One more, yeah. Well, because you went into that sort of into upbeat with the heart in it, I thought I'd play and I've got the disco lights. I thought I'd play a tune that I've got called "Heartache No More." So I'll go there. Okay, see you in a second. Right. And this is one that I kind of really want to I want to re-record it, but with like some hot band. Yeah. Anyway. It's time to stand up. Ooh. For something worthwhile. Ooh. I am a teacher. Yeah, I don't want no heartache no more. I don't want no heartache no more. Free loving, ooh. Free giving, ooh. It's in nature. Yeah, I don't want no heartache no more. I don't want no heartbreak no more. I am your woman. Ooh. So want to stand up. Ooh. Worth more than diamonds. Yeah, I don't want no heartache no more. I don't want no heartbreak no more. My heart that's broken, ooh, needs to stay open. Ooh, just what you're given. Hey, I don't want no heartache no more. I don't want no heartbreak no more. I don't want no heartache no more. I don't want no heartbreak no more.
Hooray!
That's fun.
I'm laughing at one of the comments. You wanted to see my dancing? No, you don't.
Yeah. I know.
No, you don't.
I was giggling in the middle, going, "Oh damn it! I should have put it on for you." Oh, and we got lots of bit of clapping there. Thanks, Sarah. Well, thanks so much, Philly.
Oh, thank you. That was really good crack. It was really good fun. Good to meet you properly.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll
Yeah,
get
yeah,
to meet
it's-
face to face one time. Yeah.
We should tell everyone that it's like, so we're doing this little music match, and we were all put in teams, and now that it's just finished up, I thought I'd go a team a-wandering, and I loved having a chat with you. When we had a little chat a few weeks ago with well, sorry, I'm saying this to the audience, but a few weeks ago when the Scots met the Australians, and
That
I
was
thought,
really good fun.
yeah,
Wasn't
that
it?
was fun. I thought, oh, yeah,
When I had to fill out the form, I sort of put that down as like one of the best things that we did. I was like, man, we should have been doing loads of that. That would have been a really good thing.
yeah, it was because like, and actually, I thought it was quite fun to have the three of us, because the week after that, they got the Australians to meet the Australians, and I know that we'd been chatting, but there's something about that's so scary about one-on-one.
Uh-huh.
But three people in a little, that kind of works nicely.
Yeah,
So-
actually, you're right. I hadn't thought of that. That's why it was so. Yeah, that's maybe why it was so good. It was such a short period of time. It was just like, had to be really
Yeah.
good, had to be really quick. But it was a really lovely thing. Who was in your team, by the way?
So, well, I had Megan O'Neill from Ireland, I had Tori Sparks from Barcelona, Pretty Archie from Canada, and Ross the Blue Rose Code from Scotland.
Oh, right,
So,
cool.
That was my crew, and
Nice.
yeah, it's a bit. I don't want it to finish because I like everybody, and I like talking to people, and I like
Yes.
making music.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I had from my Australian was
Yeah.
Joel Havea, who's in Hamburg at the moment.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
So
I
yeah,
told Joel I pinched you. I borrowed
yeah,
you.
yeah, it was good. That was she's and we took to it kind of running actually, it was great. It was really good. Yeah. So what do we do? Do I play a song or do you play?
You play a song. You sing
Is
us
this,
a final.
Is this the last one? Finish
The
everybody
last
off
one.
with this. I've been playing this quite a lot recently. Just randomly, it's come up. It's one of my favourite songs of all time, and I made an arrangement of it so to kind of disguise what it is.
Yeah.
It's a cover, obviously. Her name is Noel. I have a dream about her. She rings my bell. I've got PE in half an hour. Oh, how they rock in her gym kit and socks. And she doesn't know who I am. She doesn't give a damn about me. And I'm just a teenage dirtbag baby. Yeah, I'm just a teenage dirtbag baby. Oh, listen to Iron Maiden, baby, with me. Her boyfriend's a dick. He brings a gun to school, and he'd simply kick my ass if he knew the truth. He lives near me, drives an orange Capri, and he doesn't know who I am. He doesn't give a damn about me, and I'm just
awesome. That was mad. Yeah, cool. Thanks a million. Thanks for joining us this week. And
Well, thank
there's a
you
whole
for
pile
having
of,
me.
There's a pile of Aussies on there who'll come and follow you, and come and whatever, pre-save your album on all the things that we pre-save it on. And thanks a million, and we'll say good night, everybody. Good night.
Good night, everybody. Good afternoon, everyone.
Oh yeah, good afternoon, lovely